thought here today is that I genuinely hope that everybody who went to PiratesFest had a good time, got to see what they wanted to see or who they wanted to see, got their autographs, had their fun. Doubly so if you had kids. It's a great experience for kids. Okay, now, let's get down to business. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you happen to be interested in football and or ice hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. At the main management Q&A session, most of the headlines were made chiefly when Travis Williams said that Bob Nutting is not selling the team, but also during that process early on, fans started to sell the team, Bob chant, and Greg Brown kind of put that out by asking them to be respectful of the overall proceedings. Someone else asked where Bob Nutting was, and it kind of had that tone in general. There's so much of that from which to choose to talk about this morning, and I can't. I just can't. I'm going to play for you the audio of what Ben Cherington said about winning, just the concept of winning. And before I do, I'm going to remind you of the stuff that I've said now on this program for quite some time about how and why it's not ever been his top priority. It's happenstance for him. The process is the priority. The constant churn, keeping the gears moving, is the way he thinks. That's the end game for him. This was what he said, and pardon the audio, it's not that great. It's from a little bit of a distance in the crowd. When he's done, I'm going to read back to you what he said out loud, but I really just feel in the interest of fairness that you need to hear his words and his inflections.
So clear what we all care about, winning. There's other stuff we care about too, right? And we want to do other things too as an organization. But at the very highest level, at the very top of that list, is winning. It's so clear. It's so clear to me after 5 years. That's what matters most to the people in this room, to the people in Pittsburgh. It's definitely what matters the most to me. It's what matters to everybody on the stage. We're going to do whatever we can to get to that as fast as possible. I don't do that because I'm worried about myself. I do that because I want to be part of delivering that in a place like Pittsburgh where it matters. We saw a little bit of that. You can feel that energy in the ballpark last year when things were going better, we were winning, the place was full. Talk about a drug. That's a drug. You want more of that? Incredibly motivating. So I don't worry about myself. I worry about what are we doing to help the Pirates win more games as fast as possible.
Okay, now that I've done that, this was what he said, and I'll probably have a little bit of an extra response after each small segment. It's so clear what we all care about, winning. There's other stuff we care about too, right? We want to do other things too as an organization. But at the very highest level, at the very top of that list, is winning. Press the pause button. The other stuff is the process. That's what he's talking about. The process. All right. As long as we're clear now. Continuing. It's so clear. It's so clear to me after 5 years. That's what matters most. I'm sorry, I'm trying. That's what matters most to the people in this room, to the people of Pittsburgh, and it's definitely what matters most to me. Pressing pause again. It's definitely the thing that matters to me. Okay? It's not to be confused with that list I have of things that don't matter to me. This is on the list of things that matter. Continuing. It's what matters to everyone on this stage. We're going to do whatever we can to get to that as fast as possible. Pressing pause again. Nutting wasn't on that stage. Continuing. I don't do that because I'm worried about myself. I do that because I want to be a part of delivering that in a place like Pittsburgh where it matters. You could feel that energy in the ballpark last year when things were going better and we were winning and the place was full. Pressing pause. A place like Pittsburgh where winning matters. You weirdos. In a place like St. Petersburg, Florida, we could actually do what it is that we aim to do, which is to just be this endless process, like the Rays have. Ah, the Rays. Have I mentioned the Rays yet today? Well, I've been thinking about the Rays all day. This is what they do, and they don't have any fans, so they never have any pressure to do this weird winning thing that you're talking about. Pressing play, but sit down for this part. Talk about a drug. That's a drug. You want more of that. It's incredibly motivating. Pressing pause just to crack up some more. What the hell was that? What the hell? I can't even. Pressing play. Pressing play. It's incredibly motivating. So I don't worry about myself. I worry about what we are doing to help the Pirates win more games as fast as possible. Pressing stop. That's it. That's done. He makes two different references to not worrying about myself. It's not about me, not about worrying about myself, worrying about myself, worrying about... He's saying with those references, which he's never spoken anything of the kind before, that he gets the part where he's theoretically in trouble, whether that's in trouble from above, whether that's just in trouble with facing all of these people, or that these weird people who like winning might want to get him fired if he doesn't, in fact, win in 2025. But then he makes the second reference to helping the Pirates win more games as fast as possible. And I got to tell you, my friends, out of everything that was spoken in this whole thing, that's the one that kind of sticks in my side. Because he has said that many, many times, that they're doing all the right things, but the winning hasn't come as fast as everyone would like it to. He uses that a lot. And what that actually means, in his mind, I'll bet, is we're doing everything right. We just haven't rolled the right count on the dice. That's it. It just hasn't happened fast enough. It hasn't come along as quickly as all of our resident geniuses had anticipated. And that's such a glaring lack of internal accountability, of mirror level accountability, that I find it to be heinous after 5 years. And I don't think that term is too strong. I find that to be the worst. Just at least stand there, or whatever they were sitting on these, or leaning on these stools. Lean on the stool there and just tell everybody, you know what? That Brian De La Cruz trade was the pits. Okay? I totally blew it. My goodness, even Paul Skeens over across the room over there made some kind of reference to something acquisitions, and it had to be about De La Cruz. I get it. All of you know that was terrible. I've made other terrible moves. We've done nothing in Latin America. We've done nothing other than Jared Jones, and maybe we'll see Bubba Chandler out of the draft. I just haven't been anywhere near as good as I can be, and I've done a lot of different things this offseason toward changing not just some of the people. I didn't just scapegoat people. I did. But I wanted to, become a better GM. No. All this magic that you simpletons can't fathom. It just hasn't happened fast enough. Like a drug. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Welcome back. Before digging into the J1Q, I feel obligated to point out something that was a deliberate omission from the previous segment in going through Cherington's remarks. The one thing that most people jumped on, and I'm sure it was with cause, was that it made it sound as if he had reached this revelation that winning mattered after 5 years. Now, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt here that that's not what he meant. It's just the first time that he decided to talk about it and to attempt to talk about it in a way that connects with actual Pittsburghers. And what happened was that he fell completely on his face in doing so. Whatever that drug line was, whatever the man could have meant by attaching an external experience to his prioritizing winning way at the top of the list, and how that's definitely not about protecting my job. Definitely not that. All of that's just so bad that you don't need to attach, in my opinion anyway, the having ignored winning for 5 years. Even if it's completely true, I'd at least like to give him that benefit of the doubt. All right, so J1Q comes from Rob, who says, DK, haven't the Pirates essentially become the Savannah Bananas of Major League Baseball? Or maybe they're just a modern version of P.T. Barnum, known for promoting hoaxes. Is that really what P.T. Barnum did? Anyway, they placate the fans with fireworks, pup nights, bobbleheads, and the like, while basically just putting a show on the field with no real regard for who wins, because in the end, they do. You send the fans home with some brick and brack and a show, and that's all that matters. PiratesFest turned into a television promo. We heard about a commitment and wanting to win. What we don't hear is any sort of desire not to lose or a desire to get better at all levels. DK, you have long said, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. Well, what I've seen is trading a young, controllable starting pitcher who had some success, plus prospects for a platoon first baseman, signing a lefty, and the usual waiver wire flotsam. Fans want hope. Pirates fans have little reason to have any, nor does there seem to be any reasonable path forward yet. This ownership, front office, and manager just want us to trust their process. I was in Buffalo this weekend, Rob. I had zero anything to this event, meaning any sort of tie or connection or communication with it. I didn't know at all what was happening. Occasionally I'd hear from one of the two reporters that we had there for DK Pittsburgh Sports, but even that wasn't too intensive. When I cover something, I'm all in, meaning on the scene. But I can tell you that I did read all of our coverage. I did watch all of our videos. I did see the full transcripts of the management sessions. And absolutely nothing of substance was put forth. Nothing. Zero. If you're going to look for anything that happened under the roof of our beautiful convention center that would have carried any weight, it might have been Paul Skeens saying he'd like to take on more of a leadership role this year because he wants to make sure that everybody's got the right attitude, all about winning, and that's something that I think I've been telling you for a long time he was meant to do. Maybe it was Andrew McCutcheon talking about just basic fundamentals, how you just can't keep making the same types of mistakes, not close out games, and expect to win consistently. That was meaty coming from him. But from all these guys, from Bob Nutting, from Ben Cherington, from Derek Shelton, from Travis Williams, you got nothing. You didn't get anything from them that you could leave there saying, oh, hey, guess what they told us? They said they're working on this. Or they said, you know what, they really blew it with that, but they've taken concrete steps. And here's an example. They've done this, this, or this. Nope. They talk down to you. You're stupid. You're stupid. And then, sure, of course, the stuff that they put out on, old school media, social media, whatever it is, was all going to be just finding those people who were having a good time, interviewing them, and blocking out everything else that was going on, including, incidentally, the protests that were happening outside on 10th Street and Penn Avenue from a group of people, incidentally, who care more about this franchise than they do. Think about that for a second. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. Not done with the PiratesFest talk. Just this one had to come first.